So for those of you who can't remember from the last video, I'm just going to step back in time. And if you remember the last video, at the end I was saying what a disaster I'd had, and the end result was this. So I had to get off to the Great Eastern to get myself some supplies. Well, thank goodness I did. A couple of days later, this is what we've got. Right, so it's time now for me to start doing the top of this mounting. So first thing I want to do is spray it with Lyng spray, as I promised Stephen from Elvin Home I'd do. I've been doing a little bit already, so I'm just going to do that bit there, take that off. Just give it a little bit there, and I'm just adding some knock spring grass, Helgren, whatever colour that is. All I'm going to do is just very gently give it a bit, it's a bit like snow really, just to give it a little bit of different colour on the top. I don't overdo it, and hopefully that will stick down, and just very gently brush it in, because the barn's going to go there, and I'm going to get some of my wood glue, and I've got the manor house just going there, so a little bit of wood glue on that, just to hold it in place. Fit right about there, and then we've got the little sheds on that side, the house there. So hopefully you see it starting to come together. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the camera up and off so you can see it a little bit better. That will be the farmstead on the top. I've now got the next job now is put some fencing along there around the back. I need to put a little bit of that wall up on there, and then create the paths to the various buildings, and then a fence probably coming across here with a gate fence to allow them into the pasture, and then another sort of hedge across here with a gate as well, so we can have two different pastures going on there. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll come back when I'm finished, see what you think. Right, so I've got the buildings in place, and I've started putting the fence around the edge. That fence will carry all the way around there. Got the stables and cottage and the farmhouse there, so I'm just going to carry on putting the shed around, putting the rails around, and then what I'll do then is in front of them I'll put some bushes and stuff like that, scatter grass or wherever, rough the edge up, and definitely a tree on that corner. I don't know about the other corners, I'll work that out as I come along. So yeah, coming along bit by bit. Well, as you can see, it's progressing slowly but surely. I'm starting to put the fences in way along there now, going to do it bit by bit. It can be quite time consuming drilling each hole and put them in. The idea is that when the fence is up, there'll be bushes all in front along there, and that will hide the bits where it's dropped in. So I'll just get a piece of the hedging out there. So I'll drop it in like that, and that'll go all the way around. So it'll look a little bit like that if I can get that in place and make it stay there. As you can see, you've got a nice little hedge with a fence behind you going all the way along. And then I've done a few other bits and pieces, added a few bits in there. I've also got the barn in place now. There'll be a few trees down the side there. Well, what's nice is I can crack on with this and do bits of this, and I've got my little experimental train running around Pannier, and a few carriages on, a few wagons on, just to give the track, just basically the bed in the tracks. You can see as it goes round. It's yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So I've just got to work my way all the way along there now to the other side, where I've got the farmhouse and the stables. And then once I've done that, I'm awaiting some seed form to do the trees, and there'll be a hedge around there dividing these two meadows. I'm going to put some dirt down to create dirt tracks for the vehicles, especially in the farm area there, dirty it up a bit, muck it up, and then once that's done, I'm going to come back to the pole section here, and I'm going to sort that, because what I've noticed is if I'm going to take this off, I need to remove everything from here first. So I'm just going to cut a line across there and make this into something I can just lift out, lift the bridge out, and then lift all this out. But at the moment, the trains are behaving themselves, they're going through the tunnel quite fine, so I'm happy. So right, I think I've nearly finished. Well, no, I am finished, but I'm more or less all the way there. I've just seen one of my chimney pots falling down. Anyway, here we go. So here's the first view. This is the farm with the cottage and the garage stroke stables, and the path going up. So we've got the farmhouse there, the wonky chimney on top, which I need to sort out. Little garden around it with a fence. The first paddock, and then the second paddock, finishing off with the barn at the end there. You can't see too clearly here, but I'm trying to make a muddy up bits pieces. I'll come around the side here then. I've got a tree there, and I've got some seed form on order, so I'll make my own trees up when it does get here. But you can see I put a little wall in there, pan out a bit so you can see the whole thing. So road bridge, going up a path, driving up until you get to the gate. There'll be a gate up there, gated entrance. So I'll come all the way out now, and you can see it's quite reasonable, quite pleased with it. I've also started doing the other side, just putting the first layer of grass on. Very rough. I want it rough, that wouldn't normally get cut, so it'll be nice and rough there. Bit of mud, getting there. So tomorrow now I will finish that. I'll put another, or later on tonight actually, give it another hour, it'll be dry, and I'll put another coat on that, put some more trees in there. But I want to get some seed form. I'm going to wait for that seed form to arrive, which should be a couple of days. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with it. So it's coming along. There's a tendency to over add bits onto it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call it a day, and then probably revisit it in a couple of months' time. But there is the farm, there is the tunnel, end of this particular part. So the next bit now, main bit I'm going to do, apart from adding a few trees when I get that seed form, and also I need to start looking at getting some animals and figures and tractors and things like that, just to bring the scene alive. The next bit now is to start working on the mine, retaining wall and the mine taking up to the bridge. So I want to get this particular part of the layout probably from here to the other side. I'm going to leave this bit leading down to the fiddle yard because that is a whole different ball game in itself. That's going to take some thinking about. I haven't even wired the track up on that. That's all dead track, but you can see it's looking, it's starting to look good. But I need all that wiring up, all this bit. I've been making up mock-ups, and I'm going to have a go at getting some sort of. I'm gonna try and emulate Chanwell, and see if I can get some sort of decent retaining wall with little alcoves going through it. That's the idea, and that will go up to that bit of the bridge and join that particular scene. And then this side will be finished, and then I'll start wiring up the fiddle yard, getting the lights, the depot, various buildings on, and I've got to think about what I'm going to do there. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. So from this angle, for example, it's looking good. That's all for now, and I'll be back later, much later, when I've done a fair bit more on the mine. Well, thanks very much for watching. If you like, please subscribe. If you hit the like button as well for me, that would be good. I'm over the 200 subscribers. I'm not that bothered if it doesn't go up, to be honest with you. This is just a record from me, but I'm quite pleased with it. Looking good. Okay, diolch yn fawr. Now normally I do some music over this bit, but I'm so pleased with how everything's going. I thought I'd treat you to some gratuitous train running around. I've only got one, but it's running around. I'm going to try and do it in different directions, but I've enjoyed it, and I can now truly say I've got myself a model railroad. I thought you'd like to hear the clicky click of the tracks and the sound of it as it goes round. So sit back and enjoy, and please leave any comments in the link below. Thank you. bye.